G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be having a look at Endeavour OS, the online installer. So let's just check that out. Let's boot that into live disk and we're going to have a look at what we can do installing this with the online option. I did make a video when we done the Big Daddy Linux Live Challenge a little while ago, and I did install with the offline, and at that point in time, the online was not available, so now it is, and I'm pretty keen to check it out. Okay, so we are in the live system. I'm just going to see if we can do something with display settings. Display, see if we can make that a little bit bigger. It's never a 1920 by 1080, is there? I think it's 1400 something, 1400. I think by 900 is the best one. Okay. So we'll go full screen, just put a black background on there. It looks much better. So this is the welcome screen and installing Endeavour OS to disk. So we need to start the installer. We got a partition manager there. We can update this app. Let's try that first. There's an update there, so we'll do that first. Press enter to close the window. So let's start the installer. Now, this is a community development release. Offline method gives you an XFCE desktop with Endeavour OS theming. Online method lets you choose your desktop with vanilla theming. So let's just check out the online. Okay. And we have the Calamares installer. And we have a welcome. I can never remember whether there's an English strain in here. No, I don't think so. It's just American English, I think. Yep. So we'll go with that next. It's picked up my time zone, which is good. Australian English, Australian English. Now, should I do manual or should I do just erase disk? We only have one disk. It's the VirtualBox disk. This will delete all data currently present on the selected storage device. Manual partitioning, you can create or resize partitions yourself. So if I was doing this on real hardware, which is what I normally do, I will do it the way I do it on real hardware. So there's actually nothing to, I need to go back. There's nothing to select here. Let's go erase disk, or should we cancel that for a minute? Yes, let's cancel that, and let's go to partition manager. So then you've got an unallocated space. So we're using gparted here. Help and about is gparted 1. GNOME partition editor, and then we could go device create partition table. If I'm doing EFI, it'll be GPT, which I'm running under EFI, so let's apply that. And then we can go right click and new. Now we can make this 512 megabytes. Make it a primary partition with FAT32 and add. And I won't bother with a data partition, so we'll just go new on this one. If I was making a data partition, we would make, say, a certain amount for the system, and depending on the size of the disk, your minimum would probably be 50 gigs for the system. It would all be primary partition and ext4, but in this case we'll just leave it as is and add that, and we shall apply that. Close that. Now we have our partitions. Right click this one, manage flags, and we want boot ESP. So that's that done. We can close that. No need to apply there. And now we can start the installer again, and we'll go online. Okay. About Calamares 3.2.17.1. I should always check that so I know what version of Calamares is doing the right things and the wrong things, or not the right things. So Australia Perth, English Australian, Okay, now we've got all these options. Manual partitioning next. This one here, we shall edit that. 512, format that, FAT32, and boot EFI. And this one here will be root. So format that. Even though it's just been formatted, I format it anyway. Be the root partition. No need for BIOS, grub, or boot because our EFI is going to do that. And we go next. Now this is where it all gets interesting. We got the base, development, and common packages. Now we get to choose which desktop we want to install. Now you can see here if you click this, you get the XFCE for desktop plus everything else that goes along with it. You can choose to not install certain packages if you wish, but I'm not going to go for the XFCE desktop. Which desktop should we try? I'm a GNOME desktop kind of guy. Budgie's not bad. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's install a Deepin. Just let me have a look at the rest of these here. The Mate desktop. So you get the Mate desktop and, oh, they got celluloid in this one. So that's your options for Mate desktop, KDE. And that's all the packages you would get with that. GNOME, all the typical GNOME packages, Cinnamon. And Cinnamon would give you all the X apps. So you've got X apps here. So they're the specific Cinnamon X apps, which is probably what would probably give you a close experience to Linux Mint on a Arch base if you got the X apps in there, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. We've got the Budgie, Deepin, LXQT, and that's it. So you can see all the different packages there. What I'm going to do is choose the Deepin. I want to have a look at what Deepin is looking like. Although we're on a virtual box, I'm pretty sure it should work okay on an Arch base, but we'll see how we go. And we want printing support. That's all your printing support there. Accessibility tools, Orca and mouse tweaks, and NVIDIA drivers. Don't need that for a virtual box. So let's go ahead with the Deepin Desktop and let's click Next. Put in our necessary requirements. Endeavour Deepin will be the name of this computer. Now you can choose to use the same password for the administrator account. If you wish to have extra security, you can put a different password to this. But that also means that you've got to remember another password. But I normally just go with the same password. So I'll go with that on this occasion. And what that means is if you install something from the Software Center, you run sudo, you're going to have to put in this password here. This password I think is only for when you're logging in, I believe. And correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I don't do that scenario very often. And it tells you what it's going to do here with the disks. That's install. Install now. Okay, so that is the install complete. Did take a little while. It's on VirtualBox, so internet is normally slow enough as it is, but it's probably even slower in VirtualBox, but that wasn't too bad. So let's click the done button and probably restart now as well, I would say. Nice. Let's see, effect mode. Have a delicate experience, normal mode, enjoy the fast performance. I think I'll go with normal mode on VirtualBox for now, otherwise it might be a little bit slow. Okay, so I want to change wallpaper to File, User, Share, Endeavour OS Backgrounds, Endeavour OS Deepin PNG. Yeah, okay, so that's where the backgrounds are. User, Share, Endeavour OS Backgrounds. Yes, let's do that, see what happens. Okay, so we get that background there. After install tasks, so here we go, update mirrors. Let's do that first. Yes, there we go. Okay, so Australia, yep. Okay, let's do that. So Australia servers, yep. Save to etsy-pacman.d mirror list. Let's do that. Give it our password. And that should be done. So now we can update the system. There are no updates, so we shall quit. Now this one here, detect system issues. Let's just do that and see what that comes up with. Okay, so they're talking about Broadcom and video AMD GPU. I think I'll just give that a miss for now. Endeavour OS to latest. Let's just see what that does. To have your Endeavour OS install on par with the latest and greatest, the following actions are needed. Your system is already at the latest level. Okay. Change display manager. Don't need to do that. I'm happy with the one it's got. Endeavour OS wallpaper. So let's just have a quick look here at the user. Where are we? System disk. User, share, backgrounds, Deepin. No. Okay, so that's where that one is. So it must have been, I've forgotten what it was already. Endeavour OS, I think it was. There it is, backgrounds. Okay, so there's all their backgrounds there. Let's just see what wallpaper and screensaver and see what that comes up with. So it's got your Deepin screensavers or wallpapers there. Okay, let's click out of that. Okay, let's have another look at that. System disk, user, share, Endeavour OS. Does that search when you type? Yes, it does. Endeavour OS and backgrounds. Don't know why that closed before. That was a bit weird. So here you've got wallpapers for the individual desktop environments. So this one here will be the Deepin one, which is Endeavour OS Deepin. So I don't know how we get that. You can set as wallpaper. Which one do we have at the moment? Oh, it's got the Deepin one. So that's why it asks you that question. I closed the welcome, didn't I? So package management. Package management in Endeavour OS. Pacman basic commands. Alright, so that's just a link to some helpful information there. AUR and Yay. Alright, so there must be Yay installed. Let's just check that out. Let's try terminal. And let's just go sudo Yay. What's something that's in the AUR would be Zoom. Yay install, isn't it? Zoom. Let's check that out. No packages match search. So let's just check that. Search Yay Zoom. Search command not found. Oh, maybe we don't need to do Yay Zoom. Let's try that. Okay, Yay Zoom. So what have we got here? AUR Zoom. Okay, so we can Control C to clear that. So it's yay install Zoom. Yay Zoom. Forgotten how to use yay. So let's just check out, let's just minimize that for a minute and go to AUR and yay online. I've forgotten how to use yay. I haven't used it for a while. Let's see, installing packages, yay-s. I knew I was forgetting something. That's like sometimes I've forgotten to put apt, sudo apt install. I just sudo install. So let's just try that again. Let's clear that. Yay-S, which I should have known being Arch base. Zoom. Okay, let's try that. And there we go. Download package build number 1 Zoom. Let's try that. Enter that and enter. I don't know why we have to keep entering. Enter. That's the end. So we might have to full screen this one because I know there's an issue with this thing here. So I'll just press the end button and it takes me down to the end. There's a bit of an issue there. I remember this happening with something else with another install. So I just hit the end button. So you've got your home and your end. So it's taken me right down to the end. I knew there was an issue there. And I had to keep pressing enter as well for those different packages there. So let's hit Y for yes. Proceed with installation, yes. Don't know why it does that. It's a bit weird. I think it might have been another Deepin one that I was looking at. It must be something to do with the Deepin terminal. I'm only guessing there. I cannot remember which one it happened in. So let's find display. Control center, display, a resolution 1920 by 1200, 1440 by 900, save that. So while that's installing, we'll have a look at what's installed here. Now whether we've got a GUI for a software center, I'm not sure, so we'll check that out. So Zoom looks like it's installed. Oh, there we go. Oh, just installed just now. So if you wanted to install something from the Pacman repos, the standard Arch repos, I suppose you call it, it would be sudo. Well, actually, what we'll do is just go Pacman -S little s to search, and we'll look for Telegram. If you're not sure which is the best way to install it. So Telegram desktop we need. So it's sudo pacman -S Telegram desktop. And that, yes, go ahead with that, and that should install that no problem. So they're the two different installs with Yay and also Pacman. So I suppose if you're going to go Arch, you've got to probably go the terminal way. Doesn't look like we've got a GUI manager here for installing. So we have Zoom and Telegram, and you've got a little dot there telling you that they've just been installed. So if we drop this menu down, you will see the same thing in this menu here. So if we was to go, so you've got a little dot there telling you that there was something installed. There's Zoom, go back, chat, Telegram. So that's how that works. So file manager, music, movie, screenshot, image viewer, editor, computer clone, boot maker, voice recorder, screen recorder, terminal, show desktop, trash, control center, multitasking view, system monitor, print settings, calendar, calculator, these ones here, servers, which I don't normally do anything with, Deepin Draw, Firefox, HP device manager, hardware locality HTOP, icon browser, light DM, GTK greeter settings, manage printing, color picker, pulse audio preferences, pulse audio volume control, video capture utility, test utility, I'm not quite sure what that one is, screen saver, software token, yeah, that's something to do with Endeavour, I think, system profiler and benchmark, that's your system info, UX term, a welcome screen, Xterm, HP scan, MPV media player, and the two that I just installed. So no, you don't have a GUI for managing your installs of your applications. You need to use the terminal to do that if you're going to go with Endeavour OS. So you've got hardware and network. I'm not quite sure what that does. Must be information as well. Yep. So there's information there. So they've given you plenty of links here to get you up and running with the info you need in case you're not familiar with how Endeavour and Arch-based systems work. You've got Bluetooth here. So I'm not sure whether I don't think Bluetooth was installed. So let's see. We do not enable Bluetooth per default as it would be a security risk and causing more power use also. So install needed stuff is blues-utils, and the graphical one, GTK recommended for XFCE Blueberry, QT Blue Devil, and GTK Blue Man. So I don't know whether Deepin must be QT, I think. I'm not actually sure what Deepin's based on. Have to ask some of the experts there. I think it's more close to QT, I believe. And for NVIDIA users, got some information there. Yeah, NVIDIA on Arch can be a pain, especially if you've got Optimus, which I've not on this one. This is VirtualBox, but my Optimus one never seems to work on Arch. And you've got some forum tips. So plenty of links and information to get you started. So besides the After Install tab, we also have the General tab, which find your way at the Endeavour OS website. You've got website, news, donate, the wiki, forum, and about welcome. So about welcome is Endeavour OS there, and this website here will be the home page, no doubt. That's the home page, yep. And news. So any news regarding Endeavour OS, I'm sure will be posted on here. Wiki. Forum. So you've got forum there. You can sign up or log in if you have an existing account. And you've got the donate button there as well. So also we have another tab called Add More Apps. So we can choose to install LibreOffice, Chromium web browser, and Firewall. And you have the Bluetooth Blueberry for XFCE and the Bluetooth Blue Man for XFCE. So that seems to be the one that Endeavour OS supports mostly. And then if you're on another desktop environment, you've got this option here that takes you to their website and shows you how to install Bluetooth for your appropriate desktop. So if we was to click on, say, Firewall and put in our password, and let's just see how that works. And there it goes. It's doing everything in a terminal type environment. So that's it. Firewall is installed. So let's just check that out quickly. Firewall. And there it is there. And the blue dot is there as well. Or you'll see the blue dot on Firewall in here, wherever it is. Firewall configuration, there's the blue dot. So that's the Add More Apps tab. And about, there we go, Endeavour OS, it's rolling release. Arch rolling, 64 bits. And there's my information there. Memory and disk. So that's pretty much it for this one. It's a very good way of getting an Arch-based system up and running. Plenty of desktop choices from within Endeavour OS. So if you want to get your feet wet in Arch or your hands dirty, that is probably the best way to go about it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting and informative. and thanks for watching.